If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 455. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
And it's just the two of us tonight. We went from five.
Just the two.
We went from the max to the min. Well, I guess the min would be just me, but that would be fucked up. Although I have done it before. But, yeah. So 5 to 2, but...
This might be a record for the amount of shows in a row that we've done in a long time.
It has to be. If the last shows that we did in a month was in 2015, this has to be the most we've done in a row. So this is good. But we worked
2021 is starting off strong.
Yeah, like when you come off of a 2020, you just want 2021 to be strong. And I think at least we're not phoning in. We're putting on shows, and we'll keep trying to keep the streak alive. Imagine if we could go a whole year without missing a show. That'd be fucked up. I can't see how that's possible with vacations because eventually I'm going to be on vacation at some point, and that's gonna put a wrench in the works. But we will go as long as we can without missing a show.
And since we record this on a Monday, there's eventually going to be a holiday on a Monday.
Hell, I have a holiday next Monday.
We're not going to make,
which is President's Day. But we'll see what happens. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll figure something out. So, but we are here today, Selden. That's all that matters. So, why don't we just hop into the mailbag and voicemail the mailbag and voicemails for feedbacks and questions from last week's show. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Pipman once again comments, "You say you don't like my Still Got Entertainment idea, then do an awesome version in the after show." No, that I read that completely wrong. You say
yes, you did.
Yes, I'll have to cut that. You say you don't like my Still Got Entertainment idea, then do an awesome version in the after show. Electrify's OnlyFans joke at the end of the show made me think, what if you did it as an OnlyFans content? You definitely get paid for it.
I think anybody on OnlyFans coming in to watch us would be severely disappointed for dropping any money on us.
I know OnlyFans is trying to rebrand themselves as it's not just sexy shit, it's whatever you want your fans to buy, but I don't think our fans would buy Still Got Entertainment. I really don't. I could be wronger than wrong, but I would feel way dumber if we set up an OnlyFans for Still Got Entertainment and we got nobody to buy into it.
And I'm not about to start taking off my shirt for that show either to try to draw people in.
Selden, way to take one for the team, buddy. But yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, Pipman. I know you really like this, and we'll try to talk more about shows in the after show. And if you want, I'll take the TV talk part of the after show and just make it its own show. I'm not sure if that would stand on its own or it'd be like the worst podcast ever, but maybe that's something to try too, is we just peel that off and rebroadcast in another way. So
that could be it. Maybe we could just rebroadcast it as it's a short show. I mean, there's a lot of short podcasts out there that are only 15 to 30 minutes and cover very distinct titles and things like that. So that's an idea.
Yeah, I guess like when we go into the after show, we're talking about stuff, and when we finally decide to talk about TV, then we're like, hold up, like just when Yant's about to put up his spoilers thing, we're like, then I go, hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, this Still Got Entertainment, blah blah blah, and then we do our talk, and I try to peel that into a separate show. That's probably the only way you're ever gonna get Still Got Entertainment, Pipman. But I don't know if we're going to try it tonight because there's only two of us, but maybe the next time there's more of us, we'll give that a shot and see what happens. So, who knows? It doesn't cost us anything to make another podcast that way. So, all right. This name. Oh, it's Trekkie. Trekkie comment. There's lots of 1s and 3s for those of you at home. Trekkie comments. I really, actually, literally spit out my drink when D Smooth said the last time you went a whole month without missing a show was March of 2015. Holy fucking smokes. I, to be honest, I didn't think it was that long either. Like I started scrolling back through the RSS feed and I was like, oh, it's got to be like in 2020, and then I got to 2019, and then I got to 20. It was fucked up. I apologize. I'll take full ownership of that. That was my bad. I should have been.
And that
I
was
should have ridden
definitely
these guys harder.
that was definitely pre-Yant and me, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like
That
the last
so like
episode.
even when you brought the extra hosts in.
Yeah, the last episode, that last month that we went full, it was just me and Joel Dudai Rock Albert. So, yeah, I'll take ownership of that. That's fucked up. Sorry, but Trekkie, yeah, if I had heard that and someone told me and I wasn't the one that was searching the RSS feed, I would have spit my drink out too. So, all right, but thanks for the comment. Next up, Plush Zucchini asks, where do you guys expect to see podcasts, audio and video versions, go over the coming years? I used to listen to about 20 audio ones and I watched one or two. Now I listen to 3 and watch 1. It's not that I don't like the material, but there's just so much more content coming from everywhere that I had to pick and choose. I hear this too. I feel like this has happened to me as well with my podcasting. Well, part of it's because I don't drive anywhere, so I don't listen to podcasts in the car, but...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that I think my podcast listening is actually down. Like at the beginning of the pandemic, it shot way up because I just had it going on the Google speaker, the Alexa in the other room and stuff like that. So I was listening to things and then it just kind of started falling off because as I started really getting used to the pandemic, and then I was like, well, crap, I'm not listening to it on the way to work or anything anymore either. So like, I think once things start to get back to normal, we might see it tick back up a little bit as people start commuting and things like that. We'll see a lot more of the podcast being listened to again. Over the long haul, I people still consume a lot of it, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And there's definitely a distinct market for both the podcast and the vidcast formats. I think streaming is going to start fading off as we've kind of seen where people are watching streamers. And I think they're going to fall back in the more structured type of environment of the vidcast at that point. So
yeah,
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. So
yeah, like I said, I'll be honest with you. During my I had to drop a daughter off at college this past weekend, and I finally was psyched that I got to a November episode of a podcast that I was never more than a week behind on prior to the pandemic. So now I'm only 2.5 months behind or whatever, but it's nuts. And here during the day, the car was my time for podcasts. I was never really a vidcast person. I can't, if I'm at a screen, I'm there for a reason. I'm doing something. So I would always just be a listener. I was never a vidcast person. I was never a watcher. But I'd say mine's down too. Maybe not as much as yours. What was that? 20 down to 3? Well, maybe I am down that much. No, I'm more like 8 down to 2 or 3. But yeah, I guess we've all gone through this, and as we know, we've seen the birth of the CBS app. We've seen the birth of Disney Plus. If you're any of the Discovery Plus has your Food Network and all your Discovery channels and all that. And we have the Peacock coming, and this shit just and
Paramount,
if we watch the Super Bowl, the Paramount, yeah, we had enough commercials for that. So yeah, there's a lot of fucking content, and everybody is prying for our eyeballs and earballs, and I guess there's no such thing as earballs, but our eyeballs are definitely being
on OnlyFans. There's earballs.
Wow, gross. Yeah, our ears are definitely taken. Well, no, our ears are actually the only things that are open. Our eyeballs are definitely taken by all this other content. So if you want someone, you need to get their ears, and I guess that's going to ramp back up once people start going back to offices and stuff. But then again, I saw some study that said that 70% of jobs will never go back to the old way because They were paying for real estate they don't need, and they learned how to do their work from remotely, and things are gonna change. So I don't know. Hopefully
Yeah.
we survive and you keep listening to us.
All I have to say also is that, hey, I'm glad to be one of the top 3.
Yeah,
We
I
made
guess
his cut.
yeah, that's the way to look at it. Yes, I didn't even think of that. Yes, so we made the cut. Yes, thanks, Selden. You found the silver lining there. All right,
A great question.
That was a good question, and I don't think we had good answers, but we never do. So, all right, last up, Altius asks, PAX East 2021 keeps marching towards a June 3 to 6 show. Yet other industry shows after theirs have already gone virtual. Why do you think PAX is approaching it this way? I'll give you a clue. Money, 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 money. Like, it's dumb.
I guarantee you.
It's
I was
going
going to say, I guarantee probably private emails between the show floor people and the PAX East people is like, hey, get your online stuff together because that's probably where we're going to go. We're not going to cancel it yet, but just be prepared.
Yeah, like I have a hotel room for PAX East, but there's a 0.5% chance that I think this is going to happen. Like, I just can't see us reaching that critical mass of vaccines and everything else by that time frame. It just doesn't add up. I don't know. Like that. The only reason I have the hotel room is because in case something does go nuts and they're like, oh, we have shitloads of vaccine, everybody can get it, and now we figured out a way to mass vaccine everyone. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think that PAX's revenue is really based on hosting 3 shows a year. Unlike your E3, unlike your GDC that do one, unlike your South by Southwest, these are actually 4 shows. So these guys are used to doing PAX West, PAX East, PAX Australia, and PAX Unplugged. So 4 times a year they have a revenue generating event where they make a shitload of money. The last event they held that actually went on was PAX East 2020, which I went to right at the end of February, just before all hell broke loose and we shut down the country. So I can see them being like, well, we missed a year. Let's kick this back in. We'll pick right back up where we left off. And but I just don't think it's the time. I don't think this is going to happen. So
yeah, and I know there's a lot of states out there right now that are pushing to bring entertainment and arts back into the public view, and they're coming up with all these plans. Like, I think New York is planning on these pop-up shows where they're going to have these big name entertainers just do these small pop-up shows with no alerts and just roam around like New York City and hitting certain parks and amphitheaters. And those are going to be questionable. I can't imagine the governor of Massachusetts going, yeah, go ahead.
Hell, we just
went thousands and thousands and thousands.
We just went from 25% capacity for restaurants to 40 today, which I disagree with. But like, this is never going to happen. Let's be realistic. This is not going to happen. Like, it just can't. They're, from everything we know about the vaccine pipeline and everything else, and like, aside from people that are like have some whatever exclusive circumstances, Massachusetts is still dealing with people over 75. They've already done first responders, they've done nursing homes, and now they're doing people 75 and older. Like, when do they get down to the 20 somethings that go to PAX East? Like PAX East does a big broad age range. It's your 20-year-olds through, well, actually no, it's your teenagers through your 40s, 50s, 60s. So yeah. I just can't see this happening. But
now in Massachusetts, your sporting complexes and stuff like, were there people at the Patriots games, or was
we did not do the bullshit you saw on TV. Our stadium was empty all year, like it was supposed to be. Yeah. So when you see these stadiums that are 1/3 capacity, or you see these hicks down south where it seems like they're at 100% capacity, despite their state being the rampant fucking degenerate hicks that they are, dripping COVID out their assholes and eye sockets, like
David's.
Yeah, it's just nuts what you see in these other states. I don't know. And ironically, those are the states you see on the news that are having the biggest problems. They're like, oh yeah, Texas is fucked. Oh yeah, go UT, motherfucker, UT in the house. They throw the horns, like whatever, all their bullshit, like they're your fake college ball stuff. Those places have
Oh,
people in there. Like that's nuts. I don't know.
these Smooth's opinions are not representative of everybody on the show.
But they are representative of the show. So yes.
But
Yeah, we never had anybody in our stadiums. So
all right, but to get back to Altius's question, I don't know why PAX is approaching it this way. I just think that they're hoping by a straw in a haystack or a needle in a haystack that somehow it comes out that they can have a show, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So
yeah. And maybe
they need the
of it-
revenue though. So
maybe part of it's that 10-year agreement they signed with the BCEC. Maybe like if the show doesn't go on, are they taking a loss because they're not using their slot despite there being a national pandemic? Like maybe there isn't a clause in these contracts they signed where it was like, oh, yeah, we'll rent this place every year for a 3 or 4 day weekend for the next 10 years, and maybe there's no like natural disaster pandemic kind of escape clause from that, and maybe that's why they're trying to do it. And or maybe they're like, well, we knew we couldn't do it in the spring when we usually do it. This weekend in June was open, so we booked it, hoping that we knew it would never happen in the spring, but maybe we could get it by the summertime, and maybe they're just waiting and gonna ditch it then. So
yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's like the facility. They don't want to cancel it because if they cancel it, then they have to pay the facility a certain X amount of dollars. But if the facility cancels it, then they can get out scot-free or something like that.
Yep.
So maybe they're just trying to stick to contractual obligations and trying to save their as many dollars as they can.
Yeah. We just don't know. I'd like it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, and unless the majority of the population is vaccinated, despite me being vaccinated, I wouldn't feel safe about it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like Selden said, great question, Altius. You really you got us thinking as always. So if any of you have great questions like these guys, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooledtoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over to what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I finished up playing through the medium. I finished the whole story.
Oh, no
completed the game.
spoilers.
I missed a couple achievements because I didn't find all the collectibles and everything. All in all, the game is good. I'm just disappointed with how easy this genre has become. The genre of the point and click type adventure has really been dumbed down over the years. The game is beautiful, the story is intriguing, but there used to be a day when you'd play a point and click adventure that you'd have to take notes as you played through it. Yeah. You'd have to write down things that you saw and puzzles that were very intricate and hard to get through. And it's, the medium's done it, and it's some of the other point and clicks. The what was that one that was out on the Xbox with the girl that could change time? Anyways, I can't remember. But they've made them almost dumb just so that you can get through the story easy. And I really miss the harder versions of these type of games. But
I think we've seen that happen from the beginning. Like when these things, like if you look back to the origin of point and click adventures, first they were typing adventures. If you played the first Leisure Suit Larry, you had to figure out the exact thing to type, like put this here or take this here, or give Spanish fly to
and stuff like
give
that. Yeah.
Spanish fly to so and so. And then you got to the point of the Indiana Jones point and clicks, where you didn't really have to, like, if you couldn't figure it out, you could literally just click all over the fucking screen until you found out what you were trying to do. So they've been slowly dumbing down over time, and I think now, apparently from what you're saying, we've reached that the trough of dumbness. Trademark.
Yeah. I mean, there's still some puzzle elements to it, but the puzzles aren't nearly as complicated, and you don't have to remember things that happen. And with the internet, make it as tough as you want, because if somebody's going to want to make it easy, they'll just go to the internet to find the
Google
answer.
it up. Yeah.
Give us some tough puzzles to work through. Other than that, I mean, it really was a good game. It's on Game Pass. I know a few weeks ago I said I wasn't going to get it because I thought I had to buy it. Once I found out it was on Game Pass, I got it. I played through it. I loved it. It was a good game. Other than that, I played through some Torchlight 3. I've been, playing that here and there, kind of casually, not really getting into it that hard, but it's Torchlight. It's, a looter, so like it. Picked up on Steam on a demo game called Squadron 51. It's a shmup. It's really artistically well done. It's black and white. And you're
like Clerks.
You're flying a plane around, basically. No, well, yeah, kind of like Clerks, but it's got that 50s. It's got that 50s quality level of black and white. But it's as I said, it's a shmup, and you're a plane, and you're fighting incoming alien hordes and stuff like that. So it really plays really well, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably going to pick it up when it fully comes out. But definitely check it out. Other than that, just my casual phone games. I've been playing Empires and Puzzles, Clash Royale, and my puzzle page game. So, what about you, Derek?
Well, I meant to pick up the medium. I didn't. I watched Tiff start Torchlight 3 when I was cooking dinner one night, and she was in the family room, and it seemed like it seemed like a different game when she was watching like the recap, like bring me back. It didn't seem to be the same universe, but I'd still like to check that out, but I didn't. I still went back to. What's that?
I was gonna say, yeah, with Torchlight 3, it's kind of they've drawn the camera further back out, so it's further away from your character, and they've really tried to integrate a lot of the multiplayer. So there's a lot more people running around in the world that you're at the same time. So it's definitely different from.
You still have your dog to do your like ditching your loot thing?
You still have
that was the best part.
Yeah,
you didn't have to always go back to deal with your loot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have the pets, and you can load them up with gear and send them back to sell that stuff off. So
nice.
It definitely helps.
All right, yeah, maybe I'll give that a shot at some point. I meant to do more Astro's Playroom to try to finally 100% that, but I only got about 5 minutes in. It's been a busy week. And then I did my stupid phone games, phoned in Wizards Unite, phoned in some Pokemon Go, brought back some Toon Blast when I was killing time. I'm trying to think there was some, yeah, and then I did do one other game on my PC, and it was a game I did. So, yeah.
Not allowed to talk about that one. Huh?
No, not going to mention any more than that. But I probably put a good 8 hours into that this week. So, yeah. So that's it for me. But hopefully we get some more shit coming down the pike. On that, why don't we move over to new releases? Only one new release out this week, which is technically an old release, which is technically newed up for the Switch, and it is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and this is out for the Switch. So this is like, they took, 2013's Super Mario 3D World, they added multiplayer to it, they added some other stuff, they put in a new campaign, Bowser's Fury, they prettied it up for the semi-modern console, fucking 720p bullshit fucking Switch, but I didn't pick this up. Did you, Selden? I bought it twice.
I did not pick this up. No, I did not pick this up. But which reminds me, I totally forgot that I did start playing a little bit more Animal Crossing to just check out the winter.
Look
landscape.
at you.
But totally forgot that I played that this week. But anyways, yeah, I didn't pick this up. I did love Super Mario 3D. I just don't see me playing it though. So
no, I can't see myself playing this either. I like Super Mario games, but we're getting to the point where I feel like the Switch is only playing off the nostalgia aspect, and they're not even putting out new games at this point. They're just remastering, throwing in some tack-on content, and trying to get you to buy the same game you bought 8 years ago, which isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I agree with you. It definitely seems that that's what that console is generating towards. So
Yep. It's like, play the shit you used to like. Yeah. Don't make me pay for it though. So. All right, Selden, on that, why don't we drop into gaming news? First story! Canceled Xbox 360 GoldenEye 007 remaster is now playable on PC. So we talked about this briefly either last show or a couple shows ago, but someone had leaked the GoldenEye remaster that was going to be coming out for the It's not the game we all saw, the GoldenEye on Xbox 360. This was like a complete remaster that was coming out. It had all the original shit plus all redone graphics and everything else. It kept everything that everybody loved about the original game. It added online multiplayer, and it ended up getting buried because all of the licenses for all the characters and everything else were tied up in this snafu between so many different companies. So then a couple weeks back, somebody leaked some video of it, and they're like, yeah, this is what it looked like. It was sick. This was how it would have been if we could have got all these licenses in order. Then someone else was like, well, why don't I just do it one up, and let's just release the fucking binary. And that's what happened, and now it's out there in the wild, and people are loving it on PC, and this goes to show, if you're a company that owns IP, just fucking work with your other companies and do something and make money off it instead of it going out there into the wild for free. Like, if these guys had just all worked together, dealt with their licensing issues, and put this out, then everybody would have bought it. But now everybody's playing it for free on PC.
And this kind of makes me feel like it's like the Tron, where the artists spent all these years making this game, this software, and they really want to get it out to everybody to enjoy. And there's some hiccup, there's some issue, there's some jackass that just doesn't want to let that happen. You're like, yeah, you know what? I don't care if I'm not going to make any money. I spent all these years on it. I still want people to love it. So. I'm not saying it was leaked on purpose, but I have a feeling
it would have been leaked on purpose. Yeah, I don't.
It may have been leaked on purpose.
I don't disagree with you at all, Selden. This could have been, and it looks great. And there's like a one-button toggle to go between the old graphics and the new graphics, and yeah. So I'm not saying I'm going to download this, but I'd like to set this to download later and play it if I wasn't such a law-abiding citizen. All right. Yes. All right. Next story.
Sony is selling the PS5 at a loss, investors are told. Apparently, Sony has shipped more than 4.5 million PlayStation 5s from the console's November 12th launch to the end of the year, but it took a loss on those sales because PS5's strategic price point is lower than what it cost to manufacture it. This is coming at us out of Polygon. And this is no surprise to us. We've been saying this for a while. We even said this beforehand that Sony's going to have to sell this at a deep price cut
after Microsoft had their prices. Yeah.
So it's no big surprise. The losses of the sales were not really specifically broken down. And they were part of an overall game and network service segment that saw 26.7 billion yen or $2.5 billion increase in operating income over the same quarter 2019. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, they took a loss. They took a probably
a big loss. Yeah,
because some of the original prices that we saw that they were going to charge before Microsoft came out was significantly higher than where they're at.
So yeah, I don't think we didn't think this was what was happening, but to the extent that it did, and eventually having to admit it to your investors is it's sobering. Yeah, I'm sure that they didn't go into that one like, I can't wait for this investors call. No, it was like, I think I got the vid. I can't do the investors call. Can you do it, Bob? Yeah.
You want me to tell them what?
Yeah.
No, I think PlayStation investors also understand that why they had to take that cut. So I don't think it was received as bad as if it was a Dreamcast type of company.
Yeah, you
that
took
came
the
out
cut
and
with
said,
no
we had to
upside.
take
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
And I think they've done well. I mean, but it's really hard to tell where everybody's going to fall out, why there's still a shortage of consoles out there. So until there's a surplus of consoles and anybody can get one at any time, you're never going to see what the true sales are going to be.
And we're never going to see what they actually made back from taking these losses. Like, sure, they took the loss to get these out there, but are they making up enough on the back end to even make that have been a worthwhile decision? Yeah. So only time will tell. All right.
Software is really what drives it. So hardware, no.
No, definitely not. All right. I will take boom. E3 2021 is being transformed. So this kind of actually goes along with our question earlier from was it Altius?
Oh, yes, yep.
Yeah. So E3, instead of what they did last year, where all the companies were doing their own things, E3 this year is like, whoa, don't do your own shit, come back to us. So they're gonna do like their own 3-day event and give people keynote times and everything else, but it's going to be very structured as opposed to last year where it was kind of like a free-for-all. Whether this is going to work for them is one thing, but it's nice to see that they're trying to adapt to what's happening right now and try to keep all of this gaming news collected in that exciting time frame that was E3 forever. Like, we always loved the E3 week. It was like, boom, this is new, here's all the press conferences, here's all the new games, and I think keeping it condensed into a small window is better for the gaming industry than spreading it over like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, which is what we saw this year. And you just had no idea when you were going to get any more information. It was like, well, we're going to give you this teaser now, and we'll talk to you before the release. And then when we were waiting for those second press conferences from Microsoft and Sony for like months and months and months. So I think this is good news, but I can't 100% be sure, and I can't 100% be sure that all the companies that are already fucked out of E3 are going to be part of this. Like, we know Jeff Keighley was already gone, and we know Activision was doing their own thing, and so maybe this is too little too late, or maybe it's enough to bring back this kind of virtual E3 thing. So either way, I'm excited.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that all pans out, I guess, once it's all said and done. And I just don't know if shows like that are going to be anywhere close to what they used to. So
I just like getting all my news in one.
It's going to be hard.
I just don't like news spoon-fed to me. I like, this is the week where you're going to find out everything about everything you care about. Boom, done. Like, I think that's the selling point of this.
Yeah. All right. All right, next story. Here we go. Xbox director teases collaboration with Tesla for Halo Warthog, but it's in the early days. I saw this tweet come out, I think by Greenberg earlier during the week, hinting at some kind of cooperation. Yeah, that word.
Collab.
Man, I can't speak. Let me drink again. Collab.
Drink.
Collaboration between Tesla and Microsoft. Talking about the Cybertruck and the Warthog. The Cybertruck did get some bump in the news earlier in the week, I think, about the indestructible frame of the truck and stuff like that. And I think that kind of prompted this. But it might have been missed the story, but I think it's an exciting little thing. I mean, we all saw during, I think, the last Halo, the experimental Warthog that was tracking around, was making some stops, I think, for the promotional tour and stuff like that. Couldn't really tell if it was real or not, but it did have the 4-wheel steering on it, I think, where all four tires turn. All 4 tires,
yep.
Yeah. So it would be interesting to see if they can bring the Tesla truck into a Halo Warthog frame and see what they can do with it.
Especially after Elon Musk has been like pimping Halo nonstop lately. So stranger things have happened. Let's put it that way. So
yeah.
No,
I just think that it would be such a learning curve on how to drive that thing in real life.
No. That's because you're used to running gunner. See, and there's no gun.
Yeah.
So then, like, wait, I'd sit in the back and I go
No,
like
there's
this.
no gun, I'm out.
No. Nice.
But
No,
that'd be cool.
One can only hope, Selden. One can only hope. All right. Next story. Sorry, guys, the stories are shitty this week, so we're making the best of what we can. So, Borderlands dev Gearbox acquired by the Embracer Group in $1.38 billion deal. So, it's news, but it's not news. This is like one of those conglomerates that owns a bunch of companies, and they own the IP and they do shit with it. But I think the biggest takeaways from this is that they valued the Borderlands franchise at 1.38 billion, which creepy Randy Pitchford probably is happy with. He's not going to go down to medieval times and leave his USB key around with his porn anymore. Not going to talk about female ejaculate anymore. They're probably going to reel him in a little bit, but I think that having a bigger company own them and have that the backing and the funds is only going to make that series better in the long run. Not to mention they may peel back some of Randy's direct connections to the series. So, and also maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that they even said that Pitchford's going to stay on for now as part of the company. But the wording of some of the acquisitions that I was reading, the acquisition documents that I was reading, made it sound like it wasn't a long term. Okay, you're going to keep running this forever.
No, it's
but
like
who knows?
He's there for the transition period or whatever. Yes, yeah. Either way,
he'll
it's
take
exciting.
a much smaller role.
Yep. Like I like what that game became. Like I didn't play enough of the last Borderlands just because I had other games that were conflicting with it. But and also they put Chris Hardwick in the game as a voice, and we know he's a hashtag Me Too era person. So yeah, and there's no disclaimers. That's true facts. Stand with your friends. So yeah. That was kind of a sad segue I took there. But either way, sorry, yeah. I'm glad to see this fall out of the misogynistic people that were at Gearbox at this point and move on to a company that's looking to make money and do business, and they're probably not going to stand up for the chauvinism and misogyny that's been part of that series for a long time. So.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest feedback that I was reading on Reddit about this acquisition is that everybody was super happy it wasn't Microsoft that got them.
No, I can see that
really?
too. Yeah.
I'm like, that would have been a great acquisition for Microsoft to pick up, but
it would have been.
I think maybe that it might have been a little too far out of what they wanted to pay for them because they may be closer associated with or knowledgeable of what Pitchford's been doing.
That's very true.
And they probably didn't want to take on that.
Yeah.
Since it's both American-based companies, and this Embracer is, I think, out of one of the Swedish
they're
countries.
somewhere overseas. Yeah.
So the Northern European area. So
plus Microsoft already had to deal with Notch. So why do that whole shenanigans again? Right? Yeah. Learn, fool me once, shame on me. Fool you twice, fuck yourself. Yep. All right, next story.
This one I found kind of interesting. Activision Blizzard to apply the Call of Duty model to its others franchise. Now, are they talking about splitting the free-to-play massive multi-online game away
They're
from
talking about both.
The main storyline?
Yes. They're talking about breaking up the ideas of multiplayer and the free-to-play and the campaign, and they're also talking about maybe breaking up the development process among multiple developers.
I'm sorry, I have an ad playing in my ears right now. I hope you guys can't hear it. It's not shutting up.
We cannot. So that's good.
Thank God. Holy crap. Oh my god, it's muted and I'm closing this page. Sorry. I
Mm.
can't get into the article.
All right.
All right.
We'll just talk via speculation then.
So either way, I think it's a great idea. I think it would give them to diversify their product line. So if something starts failing, if nobody wants to play the individual storylines anymore, they can still fall back on the multiplayer only or the
Free to play.
your favorite genre,
Yeah.
the free to play
Battle Royale. Yeah.
Battle Royale. So
I don't know if Battle Royale even plays into all of their franchises, which is the thing that maybe they never even thought about. They're like, yeah, we'll do this all our games. And I'm like, how do you do a Battle Royale and Barbie chess? Like, oh, yeah, I guess we can't. But, yeah. But they're trying. It's noble. It's different. I don't think that their idea of going with multiple developers has worked well. In like it works well to them because they're like, "Oh, every year we get a new game out, people buy it, it's fucking good in our bottom line." But I don't think that that works for all types of games. For Call of Duty, which is like a generic shooter that drop in something and maybe it loses zombies, maybe it gets this. Like maybe it works for that, but I don't think that other games like imagine if every Halo we played came from like look how we all bitched when it went to 343. Like we hated that.
oh, still hate it.
Yeah. So I don't think that this is as doable for other things outside of Call of Duty. Call of Duty was such a like a generic first person war shooter that you could do that, but I don't think you can do this for all games. I just don't. I think people are going to notice the difference between your multiple development teams, and I think there's going to be backlash. That's
yeah, and honestly, some games don't need to come out every year.
yeah.
So
Unless you're
that was
pitching the
one
shareholders.
of the main driving forces. Yeah, I mean that was one of the main driving forces between the original Call of Duty bringing in multiple
Yeah,
production companies.
They wanted to
so
make sure
they
they had one every single year. Yep.
So
I think that's a mistake, but only time will tell, Selden. All right. Next story. No brainer. Destruction All Stars loses default voice chat after harassment claims. So, Destruction All Stars, for those of you who don't know, is the new cool game that came as part of PlayStation Plus this month. It was the first title that they originally announced as a it was going to be $69.99 instead of $60. It kind of reminds me of Rocket League, but not. And then they were like, whoa, we're sorry, we take that back. It's not going to be $69. And then eventually they made it part of PlayStation Plus. But when it came out, it had full game voice chat on, and there was no way to toggle it. It was like you're talking to everybody. And then, of course, there was like, people heard girls, people heard little kids, and people said the horrible things that we know people say in video games. And they actually had to go back and patch the game because they were dumb enough to not think that people would want to turn off like open world chat. It seems kind of naive, like you just fell out of the sky and then developed a video game, but yeah, it was dumb, and they took their hits, and if nothing else, the game has now been enhanced to allow you to turn off public chat. So.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the early Halo days. I really love proximity chat and the open world environment of that, but it was always nice that you could always turn it off.
Yes.
Without the option of turning it off, you're opening up yourself and your player base to fucking horrendous things.
Yep.
So
yeah, for everything that someone's like,
so I'm glad they learned
awesome.
And they're able to fix that correction.
Yeah, in a vacuum, hearing other people in a game is awesome. Whether it's talking trash or like this game, or in Halo, it's like, oh, when I'm close to them, I can hear them talking in the base, and I know they're fortifying this, and someone's guarding that door, and whatever. But that's not how people use it. That's in a vacuum. The way people use it is people are pieces of shit, and they spread their hate, and they're assholes. And we've seen this over and over and over again. So I'm just so confused as to why no one thought that maybe there should be a way to toggle this prior to this game coming out. I just don't understand. It's ludicrous.
Weird, bad decision. Hopefully and it sounds like they're getting it corrected. So.
Yep. All right, next story.
We got a little bit of garbage left here.
Yeah, there's shit. Why don't I delete one and you take the other?
All right, sounds good. Go ahead, delete.
Oh, yeah, I'm picking the one that gets deleted. All right, I'll pick the one that's deleted.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah, I started reading that story. I didn't understand much of it anyways because I don't know what that system was. But all right.
Nice.
I'll take the Oculus headset one. Facebook starts rolling out Messenger on Oculus headsets. Just once again showing that Oculus isn't a dead platform and that they're still developing for it. And even though it's closed and off of the other headsets, it's good to see that they're still putting things out and making updates. They are listening to their fans, their users and stuff like that. With the multi-accounts and stuff like that done in the past. But now it looks like they're bringing in a messenger app into the Oculus platform so that people are able to send messages back and forth instead of using, outside sources such as Discord and things like that. So I think this is a good move. Anything else that makes the platform stronger and more viable to use the way you want to use it is good. So
no, I agree. I think tying into Facebook's existing stuff is key too. Like, oh yeah, you're already a Facebook person. You have an Oculus headset, and your Messenger stuff is now transparent to whether you're on your PC, your phone, or your headset. Like that's bad. Yeah. I don't know how the typing works on the headset, but at least in theory, it's a good thing. Oh, and I think you can also make calls on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, right? You can do video calls and voice calls. Yeah. So I'm not sure how that fits.
I wonder if they're bringing that in. So
yeah. Good thing we really know a lot about the story before we talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of my son's Oculuses and check it out and see what it's like. So
nice. No, but I do like seeing, like you said, them enhancing and embracing their platform and pushing features that others don't have. So
yeah. And the screenshot here is showing that you have the ability to create a party, so a voice chat party. It looks like you can create, so that'll actually be a very good benefit for that program, for the Oculus platform. So
nice. Yeah, I'm curious to see how all this plays out. Like there had to be a reason why Facebook invested in them, and I think this is our first glimpse into maybe what they were expecting, because Facebook was not looking to get into something different. They were looking into how to get some different user interface into what they're already doing. Their advertising ecosystem, their friends ecosystem, their sharing ecosystem, their chat ecosystem. So I think this is going to be a telltale sign if their investment was worthwhile.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that wraps up our gaming news. So if any of you want to talk about stories next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolboy.com. And shoot us some stories our way and let us know what you want us to discuss and talk about and break down, and maybe the thing you want us to talk about will be on the show. So definitely hit us up. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, if we had sponsors and you supported them, you'd be supporting our show. But we don't have them, and we're looking for some, so give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolboy.com. Tell us what you're selling. We're telling you you pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done! Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related, twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related is at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/Tool to Play. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That's where all of our old video content is. Everything that's been archived from episodes of this show, Still Got Game, Hits, Quick Hits, featuring Hitman opening and unboxing shit. Thick and Thin with LB and Duty, where Hit was kind of their sidecar. Selden's Camera Show, immature interviews with Electrify. Like, all of these things are on there, and all their episodes are there for like the extent of time. These people cannot erase these things even if they wanted to. So they are all there waiting for you to view. So that's all on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/tooltoplay. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. We need 5 stars, and if you have an extra 5 seconds, write a little nice review. Same thing on that, whatever the store is on Android, their fake store, just give us 5 stars if they even know what stars are, and if they give you an opportunity to write something, write something. But no, who knows? Nobody knows. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's where we broadcast this show to you live each and every week, and you can go there and you can watch the previous episodes. And if you're a Twitch person, please follow us there. We have a Discord. That's at tooltoplay.com/SGG Discord. That's tooltoplay.com/S as in still, G as in got, G as in game Discord. Go there, join our Discord, and you can chat with us all day long, each and every day. We're all in there, some more than others, but we will interact with you. We'll have fun. We'll talk about stuff. You can ask us questions, and anything you don't want to ask on the show, we can deal with you live and in person. So please go to tooltoplay.com/SGG Discord, and we look forward to chatting with you. So before we wrap up, Selden, what do you got going on? What do you want to pimp this week?
Oh, I don't have a lot going on this week. I got some projects around the house I'm doing, so I got to get a lot of shit done here. But other than that, if I'm on, I'm playing or posting. You can find me at Selden007 on all social medias and on Xbox friends list. Hit me up and we'll try to play.
Damn,
what about you, Derek?
Yours is pretty fucking easy. All right. Mine is more laborious. This is why I like when there's more hosts on the show, because then I get a break before I have to talk. But, all right, you can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Derek Nolan, facebook.com/Derek Nolan, youtube.com/RealDSmooth, Instagram.com/official_Derek Nolan, Snapchat.com/official _Derek Nolan. No OnlyFans yet, but keep your eyes open. And I guess the last thing, and I want to pimp this all the time, is RERF.US. That's the Restaurant Employee Relief Fund.US. Our country's fucked. We love restaurants. Please make sure you go and support them now and support those restaurant workers when shit is bad, because when this is all over and we want to go back to a restaurant, you want your favorite restaurant to be open. So throw a couple shekels their way, and we'll all be better off for it. So just please support your local restaurant workers, and hopefully someday we can all go out and have a drink and a meal together and have a good time. So
I was going to ask you in the after show, but I'll ask it now since you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Did I see a commercial for this on the Super Bowl last night? Because there was definitely a commercial or a spot on there talking about the Restaurant Workers Relief Fund, I thought, and how they were talking about, donating to help the people that are, basically your whole spot right there. It's like they stole.
Was I out of the room for this? Is this the one time I was peeing? Now I'm Googling. Super Bowl.
There's definitely something about Super Bowl and the restaurant workers and stuff like that, and supporting them. I was like, I actually think I turned to my wife and I said, "Holy shit, he didn't make it up. This is an actual thing."
My Googling skills are not good enough for this right now, but
why don't we look it up in the after show?
Yes, we'll look it up in the after show. But I don't know, Super Bowl ad and clever love letters to restaurants. So this is another similar charity that did the same thing. So the one that I'm always pimping is the one by Guy Fieri, the one that he started at the beginning of the pandemic. It raised $28 million for restaurant employees.
Nice.
He is a big name in this, but I do not mind splitting this between all of these charities. Like, maybe they all have different reaches, maybe they all hit different things, but it's something we all loved pre-pandemic, and I cannot, I can't shit on anyone that's trying to help restaurant employees because, for me, not a lot has changed. I do the same job I've done since pre-pandemic. I do it from home now instead of at work, but not everybody had that flexibility and that leeway, and we just got to take care of these people that always took care of us in maybe not a tangible way, but we liked going to restaurants, we liked eating food, we liked interacting with our servers and the people that work at restaurants, and this has been tough on them. So, yeah, how this is done, it doesn't matter, but let's just make sure we take care of these people. So, rerf.us, and we'll tell you the other link in the after show. All right. Well, before we wrap up, I remind you all you can join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, at youtube.com/tooltoplay, facebook.com/tooltoplay, and twitch.tv/still_got_game. And on that, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
Hopefully we'll see you guys next week.